Good evening. I'm Rudabeh Shabazi. Pat Harvey is off tonight. The much anticipated release of the Epstein files is drawing bipartisan backlash, not because of what's been made public, but because of what's being redacted and withheld. CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite is here live with details of what was made public and reaction. Tom.
Right, and I think the big question tonight is what's missing, because we still have a lot to go. So Congress forced the release of the Epstein files through bipartisan legislation. All of the materials were supposed to be made public today, but a lot is missing, and much of the material that we do have is redacted, as Rudabeh said, and that's sparking anger from both Democrats and Republicans. New photos of the notorious sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. The pictures were among a trove of materials released Friday by President Trump's Justice Department. Also in the release, photos of the powerful who ran in Epstein's circle. Bill Clinton seen swimming in a pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and another woman with her face redacted. Clinton with another unknown woman in his lap. Celebrities too, former President Clinton with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross on an airplane, Mick Jagger as well, and Chris Tucker with Maxwell. Many of the records are heavily redacted, drawing bipartisan anger.
It's amazing that after months and months of talking about this and months of them stonewalling, and after a law was passed through Congress in a bipartisan way, they're still refusing to give the public the documents.
Kentucky Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, who was a co-author of the bill that required the release of the Epstein documents, blasted the Trump administration. Unfortunately, today's document release by AG Pam Bondi and DAG Todd Blanche grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law that President Trump signed just 30 days ago. Overseeing the release of the Epstein files, Trump Justice Department Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Blanche also served as President Trump's personal criminal attorney.
The key word is redaction. A lot of pages, a lot of lines and paragraphs are blacked out. That's not a good look, especially because the person in charge, Todd Blanche, was Trump's personal lawyer. If the Trump administration is trying to allay suspicions that they have something to hide, this release is not going to do the trick.
Blanche said this on Fox News.
I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks. So today, several 100,000. And then over the next couple of weeks, I expect several 100,000 more.
The DOJ says nearly 4,000 files from 4 new data sets were released. Poring over the documents, we found these chilling notes from a police interview with an Epstein accuser. She told them just turned 16 when moved to LA on my own, and that Epstein let me stay with him Malibu to Beverly Hills. She goes on to say, my sis knew J.E. for a number of months. He was coming to California, Bel Air Hotel. She took me to his room. Also among the files, Epstein's book of contacts with the names of President Trump, his late wife, and daughter Ivanka. A list of girls or young women listed as masseuses keeps the names private, but shows there were more than 250. Epstein survivor Annie Farmer told CBS News she's frustrated with what's been released so far.
There's been a lot of effort and money and time put into redactions, not to protect victims, but to protect people in power.
This evening, the Justice Department posted on X that the DOJ is not redacting the names of any politicians, and they said that the only redactions being applied to the documents are those required by law. The statement goes on to say the only redactions apply to victims. Rudabeh, I think there's just a lot more questions, as we heard Jack Pitney in the piece talking about. People are going to have a lot of questions about why there is so much that is blacked out.
Right, and we saw other victims with just the faces blurred out or just the names blurred out, and that was the only redaction. So
yeah, and also conspicuously missing when you do a search for President Trump, who we know was close friends at one time many years ago. Really doesn't appear much in this first release. We'll see if there's more. They were all supposed to release today.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.